Guys,
Uh,
actors, black
yeah.
actors, are we doing any more slave roles after this? You know what I'm saying? Do you have anything else like going on in the works that you want to like put out there, announce that we can leave you link to or anything?
Unfortunately, right now during this pandemic, this full panorama that we are still in, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Um, yeah, I have nothing to
Yeah,
report. I have nothing to report.
that's totally fine. It could have been a personal project.
Jonathan cracks me up. He's just like, well, you know.
That was real though.
uh,
Um, you know, I am I am with you, Jonathan. Same. Currently, I am, taking online classes, taking
Mhm.
the workshops and writing and doing self tapes.
I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my God, no. I was doing that. You know what's crazy? I had that kind of motivation at the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, oh, all
He
this
was
time,
taking these classes.
Wait,
classes.
okay, hold on. Okay, okay, all right. Like 5 or 6 months ago, I definitely had a okay, let's to be real. Your girl had a whole mental breakdown and she
Damn.
was depressed. And I had to stop taking acting classes because I was not eating, lost a whole bunch of weight, was super depressed, and I started therapy because I like shit hit the fan for me. So I like now being in therapy for a couple of months and like getting back into stuff. I'm like, okay, boom, now start taking your classes, now start doing this. So these last couple of months I feel like I've aged 10 years because
Yeah.
listen, opening that door of like past traumas, that
Mhm.
is that is
Yeah.
whew.
So how are
Yeah.
you doing
So
therapy? Are you doing like a virtual one? Because I need some.
yeah, so listen, I will share the information of the place that I go and the women that I work with. It's amazing because she's first gen, just like me.
Hmm.
She's Jamaican. She's into crystal. She's very spiritual, and it just feels like I'm speaking to someone
Mm.
that get it, that I don't have to give that extra of like, oh yeah, I'm first gen. She already knows. She already knows. And she's a black woman just like me. So we already speak the same language. So she understands, you know?
Hmm.
She sees me. Because the first time I went to therapy was with an older white man, and I had to explain extra things about me being first gen and me being West African. And it was
Mm-mm.
just too much
Yeah, no.
explaining. And it didn't work for me.
Yeah,
But
and nothing's wrong with that.
right, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll share her information with you. But yeah, so that's what we're doing right now: therapy, workshops, classes, writing, and self tapes, and enjoying whatever this
Yeah.
this universe life, my journey, just taking it day by day and not expecting results. Um,
Yes.
so
That's what I've been doing too. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm here. Um, that's yeah.
That's totally fine. I love that you took time for yourself, especially to know that. Cause I did the same in a way, like me coming here to London was like taking time for myself and obviously for time with Seb. And it was very necessary. And I feel energized. I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna leave him here, but I'm also excited to for the opportunities of auditions coming up and stuff like that. But also, this lull has given me the courage, which it shouldn't have taken the pandemic to happen, but you just don't know when your time's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
You just
listen,
don't know.
sometimes shit needs to happen so you can just be
Figure
still.
it. Right,
Yeah. That-
Okay?
right. Because now that I've had like time to work on YouTube, it's given me like a creative outlet, which is what I originally wanted to be. But for some reason, I don't know, with life going on, I didn't give myself time to think. So now that, we're at a lull, it's giving me time to think. And I'm like, wow, I do actually have really good ideas. I just also got to do them. So yeah, and being able to work on YouTube has helped, like with me with camera and stuff. I understand it better. I'm like, all right, if I have the camera here and I'm like doing a self tape, like I know where the light is and stuff like that. So
It's a
it's
practice.
all, we out here honing our skills in everyday life to bring it forward. And like we just discovered for us in acting, it's literally about just being,
Mhm.
listening, and being. Easier said than done, but you know.
Ugh.
Ah, guys, and I can't wait. We gotta do a co-creative where we do like the thing you showed me, Maddie, the co-creative where you write a script and stuff.
Oh
Like
my
if we could
God.
do a 3-person thing, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you.
Two
I'm gonna send you
person.
the information, Jonathan. But yeah, but
That's
yeah,
gonna be so good.
yeah. You get to you're like writers. So is this young lady? I met her on Clubhouse. Um, Clubhouse. Oh, Clubhouse. Um, so she has like this thing where it's like a real thing where you can like write a script and they'll film it, or they can write us a thing for you and they'll film it, and it's really affordable. And I looked at some of the reels that she's done for other actors, and it's amazing quality.
So like we're gonna do that because we can't wait for reels first and foremost.
I
Yeah.
know.
So we need yeah, even for me, I'm like, my shit from dance class is looking janky, boy. And I could do better I could do better on my Samsung. So we should have just used our phone in that class, to be honest.
I can't.
Honestly, like what Angela's saying is right. Like now that I'm out here doing it and I'm doing self tapes so often, I think to myself, like, what did we really learn? Like, I will say that Todd did teach us things, but what he should have been a teacher that you got after having somebody had to have taught you. Like he was the person that you should have gotten once you had already had a fundamental of angles and knowing how to do like because he
Gotcha.
wasn't going to teach you that. He was only teaching you how to kind of act on the camera, how to just be.
It should be required to have a director's class. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Angela's right. Like they should have made us instead of UG, they
Oh,
should have made us.
it's all right. No, for real. Fuck the
You
stage
know what?
combat.
A clown class. What was that clown class? Who
Oh
was
my
that?
god.
That person
Okay.
was
Okay.
Chris Luke or
Listen.
something.
The person who I had for clown class, he literally he wasn't a clown anymore, and you can tell that anytime he came to our class every week, he just didn't care.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. What was his
Chris
name?
Luke or something.
Yep, yep, he was
Chris
over it.
Luick.
He
Oh,
brought his suitcase. He's like, all right, y'all, you guys can just take whatever you want. I was just like, he does not want to be here.
he
You're right.
tried with us. He
I
tried
was
and then he just gave up with
as
y'all.
a clown. You failed a long time ago, and you are a sad clown. You're a very and he was depressing. Like he would have morning conversations with us that, like, if we weren't very, very tired and fully there, we would have been traumatized by. But we were tired, so it was like, girl, we were just like, bitch,
We were
just
like, please just let him talk so we can have less class.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
like the easiest thing we have to do. We're so stressed. Showcases a lot. Let's just do this.
He was stressed with his own commercial brand or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was just like it was. He was very. It was hard. It was hard, and I was just like, you know what?
That
So happy I'm not really fully coherent for this because you are a scary person and you traumatize us.
He be real smart too. His mouth real smart.
oh yeah, very.
Yeah, he would say some things, but I was like,
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of school, I'm just like, I should have took more of Drew's approach. He's just like, I'm paying y'all. Not like that kind of approach, because that's a little too rude. That's a power thing, but it's just that I would have been more lax about what they said, because they caught us straight out of high school.
yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I was just always thought of the teacher as a teacher thing, because I wasn't straight out of high school. But they, they got us fresh, wet behind the ears. Like if I went back to college and I went back to take the class, I'd be like, first of all, listen here, you're not gonna talk to me like that.
Right.
First of all, listen here, but
I also wish that we had had Black teachers. Think about that.
Yeah.
Gia brought that up to me when I did a recent project with him. And it really stuck with me that none of my teachers, none of them were Black, and none of the people that they would recommend to you were Black. If you really think about it, all of the
Yeah.
recommendations that would happen, and all the, oh, you should meet this other person, and like all the side extra shit that could happen outside of room calls, all of that was very white. And it was just very much like, how different would it have been to be educated by Black people, and how that would have been different? I just think about that all the time. I just think about that all the time.
We would have came out stronger actors.
Yeah. I feel like,
Good.
yeah, because I feel like the Black teacher would have been real and honest. And would be like, okay, no, we speak
Yo.
the same language, so let me spill the tea here. Okay?
Or, I mean,
really real with us though, who I really, really liked. I
Who?
miss Anya.
I was about to say, Anya did not take no shits.
I was like, you're very real in a sweet way. This is very, very sweet. You're really encouraging me to have respect and not shaming me to have
Right.
respect. Inspiring me to have respect for the work and to have better accountability. You're not shaming me for not having had the accountability, like, or not having had the respect level that you felt I should have. Like, I liked her a lot. Like,
yeah, it was very, very shame motivated at Brooklyn College with our
like, her, she was like, she respected you. She did what she treated you like you were in college. She didn't have time. She was like, some of us care about it and some of us don't.
She did say that.
Anya, I'm honestly, I can say that I'm so lucky and blessed that my class was able to take Anya. Like anytime I was like around her, I would be shooketh because she'll do this thing of just like looking at you and be like, I remember we had like a conversation about birthdays, and she found out that I was a Pisces just like her. She was like, oh, you're a Pisces. I was like, yeah. She's like, that's a lot. I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, you got a lot in there, do you? Get it. I'm a Pisces too. And I was like, yeah.
Why you read me like that? I'm about to cry.
Literally, I was just like, Maddie, just smile. I was like, oh, this lady is just, and she not saying nothing. She just
when they let you sit with it, you just like.
I was like,
I loved it. Yes.
So great.
I loved it so much. I was like, yo.
I wish I could be like that. Just look at people and be like, but I'm like, I'm too anxious. I'm too anxious to do all that. But
wow. Man, can you imagine the artist that you are now? The person that you are now and what you have to offer. If you were able to be in the program at this moment, how much different do you feel of an artist?
So different.
How do you feel?
I would have been so different. I would be on some crazy, I think I would push it further, and I need to push it further, even now.
I agree. Yeah, I would definitely, it depends. So, I feel like I would get in either more trouble or less trouble. Like, I would get in less trouble for the things I got in trouble for. I would get in more trouble for being outspoken because I would be over
that part. Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, I cannot do this with y'all at this moment.
As a performer, I would be different in terms of like, I wish I could do some of the roles I did in school over again. But yeah, as a student, I would be, or even as a person, I'd be like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Like all the things with other students and stuff, I would be more true to myself and just be like, listen, you ain't gotta do it if you don't have to. So nobody asked.
Would be different with my ensemble for sure too. I feel like I would have different relationships with my ensemble.
Yeah, it would be like Sorry, say that again.
I was like, not negatively, but it would just be different.
Oh yeah, same. It would just definitely be different. Be like, I will go to you when I know you can get things done. You know. No, like not even in a rude way. It's just, especially as we all see that we're starting to do projects on our own. it's really, you really do start to take in consideration. You're like, can I ask this person, will they actually come through? Like,
Wow.
that's why I asked you guys to do this with me, because
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know that you would come through and you guys would provide like good conversation. So that's basically how networking works anyways.
Okay, I have a question.
What's that?
I have a question. If you can play any role, any character, what character would it be and why?
um I I watched the Altered Carbon, right? And it had, I think her name is Angelica Gooseberry. Am I saying her last name right? And she is the performer that I would want to be. She was also in Hamilton as Angelica. Hold on. So she can sing out of her mind. She's an amazing performer. I would like to be in a show like Altered Carbon, which is like a sci-fi show, which she played basically the hero and also the anti-hero because she was like possessed by aliens or something. But like her acting is so good, and she did enough acting for the TV as well as when you see her in like Hamilton. She did like such amazing acting for theater. Still intense as hell, but yeah. If that does answer it. So yeah, I would love to do sci-fi, obviously comedy, but as a performer I would love to be her. I'm gonna look up her name too to make sure I got the name right.
When I don't have I'm rewatching Breaking Bad right now, and I've always loved this actor. But I really enjoy Juan Carlo Esposito, and he plays
Mm, he's so good.
he's so good. And I just like people who have quiet power. If you look at Juan Carlo as an actor, he's small, like he's short in comparison to other actors' height on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um not like like I just like people who have a quiet small presence to them. I have a lot of respect for actors who can do a lot with silence. There's a that where you're not saying anything, but you're doing so much. I haven't gotten there, but I just have so much respect for actors who you just look at them and there's so much happening and you're like, ah, and then
Mm-hmm.
so I
He
love
was
him.
so good in there.
He was so good in that.
His
And I
death scene.
oh, the death scene. Don't talk to me about that yet, because I'm rewatching and I vaguely remember the death scene,
Okay.
but he's talked about it in so many years
Sorry,
that
go
I
ahead.
don't talk
Mhm.
about it. Don't
Sorry,
talk
her
about
name
it.
was Renee Elise
Let me see.
Goldsberry. I said gooseberry. I'm so bad.
The screen being like, let me see. And I was like,
Highlight.
Sorry, I was like, I shouldn't put it. Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Mm.
Oh,
I need
she's
to
so good.
watch Breaking Bad. I've never watched it. It's a lot of
it's a
seasons.
very intense show. It's very intense. It's I and honestly, the reason why I like it is because I like a show where the main character is not a good guy. And I don't think that the main character in Breaking Bad is a bad guy. I think he becomes worse and worse over time. But it's in a way in which you're really like, wow, I really understand your choices and where this began. But I also see where your decision making is leading you, and like, baby,
Yeah,
I'm just worried for you. So I love, and I think a lot of shows are like that. Like, I think I've never seen Euphoria, but I've seen one episode of it, and I feel like that's another show that's kind of like that, where like you're watching a main character kind of like go through things, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if this is the best thing for you, but they're going through it anyway, whether you're on that ride, whether you want to or
yeah,
audience member. So I think that's why I like it. I like shows like that where you're like, oh, I really don't want to go on this journey with you, but here we go. Ew, it's gross. You're gross, but let's do it. And I'm rooting for you actually in the end, and in some sick way. I'm rooting for you to make it out of this that you've created, this mess, alive.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
I love
a yeah. That's a great answer. How about you, Maddie?
this.
Who you gonna be? We know you got somebody.
There's so many.
I wish I could be as a peaceful person as Chadwick Boseman, but I know I do not have it in me. You know, you would want to be like, let me lead, you know, he's leading by example and we should try to be like Chadwick, but nope, too petty. No,
I
no,
don't,
not.
no, I don't even think it's being too petty. I think it's just like not saying that you don't like have this, but I think it's like having integrity and like deciding what you want to deciding something and then like sticking with it, because I know earlier in his career he talks about this in a lot of his interviews. He got cast for a soap opera, and then
Thug
it was
role.
role, yeah, and then he was asking questions about like where is this character father, like he didn't want it to be like a typical like thug like black guy or whatever, and like they fired him and like they cast somebody else. So I just think it's like having integrity and
Mm-hmm.
knowing who you are.
Mm-hmm. And sticking with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about something off recording, but your girl had to make a big girl decision.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me just end the recording. Let me just give a
Yeah.
closeout real quick, and then I'll just be like, because
Oh yeah,
I
no, I went to
may.
African Warrior Princess.
Oh, African Warrior Princess. Yes, you did.
Warrior Princess. I'm gonna keep saying this a million times
Speak it.
because it happened one day. An African Warrior Princess. Come on.
Come on. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I appreciate it, but especially our chats afterwards. But thank you guys, and hopefully, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.